Islam, I'm going to keep in line with what I was doing earlier. I'm going to continue to dispel a few of the things, myths, in relation to our prophet and, supposedly what he did or what he didn't do. Well, number one, he never plagiarized the Moorish Holy Quran. It's not a plagiarized book. Actually, it's a book from other sources. Like he told you when you open up the book itself, page 3, he tells you that these secrets were let loose, from the East at an appointed time. You understand? The book itself doesn't have authored by Noble Jew Ali. It says divinely prepared by. That means prepared means that he had to use things to put this book together. And that means that the things that he used were other sources, which is why he told you that. You understand? So, no, there's no room for plagiarism because he never plagiarized. He never claimed authorship to the book. You understand what I'm saying? He never claimed authorship. And we know and understand also that he used other sources. You hear people talk about Unto Thee I Grant and in other books and so on and so forth. Yeah, Unto Thee I Grant was a book used by the Rosicrucians. You know what I'm saying? But that book has an earlier source. You know what I mean? And that book's source goes back into Egypt, or what we call Kemet, which matches exactly what our prophet said. You know what I mean? Our Islam coming from Kemet, Palestine and India. You understand? So when we looking at that, we know right from that point on, right there, that there is no plagiarism. You know what I'm saying? With the Moorish Holy Quran. Number two, the whole ideology about white meaning God, and that the Moors teach that white people are God, or so on and so forth. First of all, we don't use that language. We don't even call them white. We call them Europeans. We call ourselves Moors. So that language, white and black, is used by those who are unconscious. So the prophet was speaking to the unconscious people because that's who he came to. A bunch of people who were unconscious, fallen humanity who needed to be uplifted. And he began to uplift us by teaching us to be ourselves first. You understand what I'm saying? And by doing that, he had to give you information. He had to give you certain information like black and white, these two adjectives. You know what I'm saying? He had to give you a basic understanding of basic grammar. Black, white are adjectives. They're descriptions. They're not nouns. They don't identify a person, place, or a thing. And in the process, these descriptions have definitions. So whenever the unconscious calls the European white, you're referencing them as God and pure and innocent and so on and so forth. You see what I'm saying? So that's that correction. We don't teach that in the Moorish Science Temple of America. The prophet didn't teach that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't teach that. So that's not something that we delve into. You know what I mean? That's not something that we have to be bothered with. You know what I mean? Because the reality is that black and white are descriptions. And that's what is utilized. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as the other misconceptions, all of the great tales that was told, the prophet going to England, meeting with the queen, that's a lie. Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali. There's nowhere written that name is written, that we don't know about that name. The only high name that I know of from the prophet is Ali. See, Ali means highly glorified and exalted. That's what it means. So that high name could be the name he brought back from the East. But Sheikh Sharif Abdul Ali, I've never seen that name on anything by the prophet. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where that mythology came from, because if it can't be proven and validated, then so be it. He wasn't a circus magician. You understand? So there's a lot of mythology that has to be cleaned up. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that are taught that have to be cleaned up. He didn't bring the red book. The prophet didn't bring the red book. The red book didn't come from Noble Jew Ali. So you're saying, so there's things that just have to be cleaned up. And on that point, I just wanted to give a little bit more information about, what's what and why we're in this condition as far as our prophet is concerned. Because sometimes there's a lot of mythology that's being taught, and we have to remove the mythology. And we can't allow people from the outside to tell us what our doctrine is, who've never experienced it or know what it is. You see what I'm saying? So it's very important that we be scientists, because that's what we are. We're scientists, right? You know what I mean? Our Islam predates Prophet Muhammad in El-Islam, right? We got the old time religion, right? We come prior to all of the said man-made religions, right? Therefore, if that's the case, then we need to be as such. We understand why the prophet used signs and symbols. You know what I mean? We understand why he moved the way he moved. You know what I mean? The old time religion, you know what I'm saying, wouldn't be called Islamism, because the word Islam in that religion has a date to, organized to the 6th century or the 7th century. You see what I'm saying? But they say that everybody lived Islam. It simply means peace. In ancient Kemet, that peace would have been called Hotep. So maybe Hotep was our science also. You know what I mean? But the reality is that we come from something much more older than El-Islam. And on top of it, we do prostrate. We do prostrate. You know what I'm saying? I don't, You say Moors don't prostrate, but we prostrate. Prostration is older than Islam itself. And again, we have that old time religion. Kemet, Palestine, and India. So yeah, we make prostration. But when making prostration, understand why you're making it and what you're gaining from making the prostration. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a lot of mythology that's been told. And, you know, it's our job to clean it up so we can clear the path, man, and make everything straight and narrow for those who can come in and be told the truth and be told some honest information and not be looked at as a money tool or something of that nature. Peace.